Thank you for meeting with me today so I can present my research. We're all selfish people. Some are more selfish than others, and some use it to bring each other down. This is mainly seen through racism and prejudice. Many Hispanics face prejudice in this country at least once throughout their lifetime. The immigration issue has been on the table for decades and is being taken care of by organizations within certain communities. The demographic of this country is changing. The Hispanic population is on the rise at a very fast rate and is spreading to new regions across the country. They are comprised of people from all over Central America, including Mexico, Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Peru, and Nicaragua. Many of us tend to refer to these groups as one, hence the word Hispanic. However, each group is very different within themselves. Whether it's food, culture, or language, Hispanics value their differences and express these differences while living in the U.S. Today I'm here to share my research I did over the summer of 2015 in order to show that integration is necessary in order for communities to achieve better opportunities for all. My research, as you can see on the board, is called Issues and Trends Among Hispanics and was dealt with in the central Pennsylvania region comprised of 5 counties. I worked with 2 other students in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania at Bucknell University, and we went around and met with different Hispanic communities and outside organizations that help with the Hispanic population. Before we started, we did a little background information, and so this is a graph from 2011, and the darker the area of the state is the larger population areas of Hispanics. As you can see, they're mainly in the west and the northeast, and they're mainly in urban centers. And we were in the middle of Pennsylvania, right in the middle, if you can see that at all. But as you can see, there aren't many Hispanics in the area, but it is growing at a very fast rate. Down the coast in the big cities such as Washington, New York, Boston, and Providence, there are large Hispanic centers, and people have been starting to move out. Specifically in Pennsylvania, the bulk of the Hispanic population, as in 2010, was in Philadelphia County. And so here on this graph, the brighter the blue, the larger the population. So as you can see, the population has been moving towards the center of the county more, and the UN in the middle is Union County, where we conducted our research for the most part, and the county surrounding it. The push outside of Philadelphia County into the more rural areas is because the cities are becoming overfilled and people want to go to a new place. And the way this is spread among the Hispanic community is by word of mouth. So, for example, a family will move out into Lancaster and then possibly out into Union County, and they'll tell either their brother, sister, cousin that it's a great place, and they'll tell their friends and so on and so forth, and people start moving around. A lot of people we talked to said that they love the area around here because it's very scenic and quiet and peaceful compared to the city, but as you can see, the city is still the main place where most of the community is. In our counties around Union County, Northumberland, and Lycoming, you can see the population has been growing over the past 11 years, and it is still growing as we speak. With our research, we met with, as I said, a lot of organizations, homeless shelters, meatpacking industries, and Hispanic individuals in general. We met with a lady who ran a homeless shelter in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, which is about 20 minutes from Lewisburg, where we conducted our research. And she told us that the shelter sees many different types of people, including Hispanics. However, the language barrier is a huge issue because in rural areas such as this, a lot of people do not speak English and Spanish. And this area, the central Pennsylvania region, is a great case study for other places such as rural Kentucky and all around the Midwest because there aren't a lot of bilingual speakers. Unlike the cities where you can get around only speaking Spanish and you don't have to learn English, but around here you have to learn English and Spanish. And people have just not they don't want to learn Spanish because they feel like this is their country, and the Hispanics that come in have to learn English in order to get jobs and provide for themselves. I don't see this as correct. I believe that people should help each other in any way possible, and the main way to do that is through the younger generation, because a lot of the Hispanic families here have children that were born in this country, and they all speak English and Spanish, and they're brought to the doctor's office, the hospital, and work in order to translate for their parents. So if we could be able to get the kids on our side and try to teach their parents some English, it could only help. And learning English is for survival in this country because it's the only way it's going to work. A lot of the Hispanics in this area are from Mexico, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, but the majority are from Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico is a very interesting group of people because they have citizenship. So they don't have to go around and hide from the law and don't feel embarrassed going up to get jobs or get better wages or less hours. We met with a lot of Puerto Ricans. Specifically, we visited a church in Watsontown, Pennsylvania, and we met with the pastors there who actually travel 2 hours every Sunday from Lancaster to Watsontown in order to, conduct a mass. And the mass, we sat down during the mass, it's all conducted in Spanish, and just during that moment, I could feel that, these people aren't here for trouble. They're not here to take away jobs. They're just here to provide for their children and have better opportunities. And meeting with regular non-Hispanic individuals saying, we don't want them here and they're not part of our community, it just doesn't make any sense to me. People have to integrate themselves in order to make the community better. And we all have our own attributions in order to make that better. And it's not fair to single other people out because they don't speak English or they're not from the same place you are. We also met with a woman that owns a bakery shop who is also from Puerto Rico, and she said that she has dealt with a lot of racism in the community just because of where she's from and because she has an accent and doesn't speak English perfectly. Excuse me. And she said for the most part she just ignores it because she has more important things to worry about. Another part of our research had to do with migrant workers. Now, migrant workers are not residents here. They come on work visas and they stay for 3 to 5 months and then they move to different regions. The migration patterns of migrant workers are very unique in that during the spring they're in Florida picking oranges, then they come up to New Jersey in the beginning of the summer and pick fruit, and then they're in the central Pennsylvania / Ohio region during the end of the summer and the early fall for the harvest season. But we met with a couple of migrant workers down in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and we asked how the work is for them. They get paid by the amount of the pounds that they pick of fruit or corn or cotton, whatever they're picking, and they don't take days off if they're sick. They don't have any days off, and it's because the land owners, which they refer to as, they just care about money, and they don't see the workers as people. They just see them as an investment. And it's unsettling because we went to go see these people where they live, and it's unexplainable. There's 20 of them in a small shack, and there's a lot of prostitution going on, young guys, and they don't have anything else to do. And this just comes out of selfishness because the people just want money, and they want to get as much money out of these people as they can before they leave. In my experience growing up, I dealt with a lot of Hispanics in my household because my parents brought in a couple of families to stay with us for a year, So we had 2 families that stayed with us, and the first time I went to go meet the family before we actually brought them in, and I was with my father, and we went to this townhouse that must have been, 4-person house at best, 3 rooms, but had 40 people in it living in 3 rooms, and my dad looked at me and he said, "I can't let people live here. It's just not fair." So we brought them in, and we said that it's just not, we have to take care of them and do something better. So that's what we did, and I got to learn from the Hispanic community and become part of it at the same time from learning of these people. So I come here to you today saying that we can't get rid of selfishness, but we can integrate these people into the community better by providing them better means to be able to communicate with one another, with Hispanics and non-Hispanics, and show their cultures and lifestyles. Because the more we integrate, the better off we will be as a community, and the stronger we will become. These people aren't here to hurt us. They're here to just better themselves and better their children's lives. So let's give them this opportunity and show them why the United States was built off of immigration and why we are the greatest country in the world. Thank you.